Ben, thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, nice to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me a little bit about Luke.
Well, this right here is Mr. Luke. Luke has a GABRA A 1 gene mutation. He is 4 years old. He is the absolute happiest kid you will ever meet. He's become the mascot of his school at Battle Monument. He goes to a special needs school in Baltimore County. And he literally is their like almost little mascot. He just started to take his first steps, which has been a huge accomplishment for him right now. And he led their Thanksgiving Day Hall Parade as the turkey going up the front of the parade. So, but yeah, this is Luke. He is, besides like the GABRA1, has global developmental delay. He's had vision issues, muscle issues, weight gaining issues. Anything he eats with type of textures, he usually will spit it right back out. He's like any other 4-year-old, just doesn't like chicken nuggets yet.
When was the first time you noticed something might be a little different about Luke?
Luke, when it came to the first 6 months, was almost making every single one of the milestones. I mean, he was chipper, he was having, but there was just this little thing that was kind of sitting in the back of my wife's head that just it didn't seem to be completely going right. We had our daughter Annabella, who's 6 years old, 2 years older than he is, and was a completely different experience. She was, I mean, rolling around more. She was speaking more. We're just like, well, maybe it's just a boy. He's going to be slower. And my wife was like, absolutely. And it kind of progressed. The first thing that really stuck out to us was he had a misalignment of his eyes. I think it's called Hypertropia, but his eyes, he was very cross-eyed. And we went to an eye doctor with Wilmer Institute with John Hopkins, and he was the one that kind of actually got us, I could say, the ball rolling. He was one that also suspected that there might be a genetic component to it, and we went from there. If it wasn't for, I mean, honestly, for that doctor itself, we would have probably been going down blind at this point in time, starting off. But he had cross eyes, and then after that, he started falling back dramatically. Every milestone was not being met. He was not walking. He wasn't crawling. He wasn't talking. He wasn't, I mean, just wasn't making it. He was not gaining weight. He was stuck around the 10-pound mark for a very long time. He didn't even surpass 20 pounds until he was almost 3 years old. Luckily, he's put on some weight, but we've had most of the kids that have what he has, or the Rett syndrome, or any of the seizures, they have them on a ketogenic diet, and we've pretty much had to ignore that completely because of the amount of calories and food and things we had to do to keep him just above the 1 percentile. Even if he was in that, I still think right now he might be in the 1 or 2%, and he was always low on that.
So if someone else was in your shoes at that moment, right now, at that diagnosis, you get that news, what would you tell them?
First things first is don't take the first answer, the first suggestion. Don't take anything as a sign that you have an answer, because you don't. You need to go and talk to as many people as you possibly can. Friend of a friend, a doctor. I mean, if you have, at that point in time, a neurologist or anybody else, a family member that can point you in a direction, take every bit of advice, every recommendation, go down that path. try to find out what you can, because when it comes down to what Luke had, the first thing we did after his genetic test, I got the results before we even met back with the doctor, and I walked into the appointment with more information than she had. Now, nothing against her, and nothing. I mean, she's phenomenal, and at that point in time, but you have to go down sometimes your own rabbit hole to find what you need to do to at least get the information you might need. If it wasn't for Annika and Cure GABA A, we wouldn't know a tenth of probably what we do now. It has really opened our eyes, and honestly, it was searching on, the computer and then going on Facebook, and I didn't even think that anything would come of it because it was such a rare thing. And lo and behold, here's, something that's helping us out dramatically. And just because of this, and seeing where my son goes to school and where these other kids that have what we have, it's, opened my eyes up to what's really missing when it comes out to it. And the advocacy of everything right now has been what I've been pushing for the most, is trying to give his condition a face as well, where I'm at with Kennedy Krieger, with John Hopkins, with things we have, like Cure GABA A, we have with his school, we have his, like a new booster club that parents don't want to volunteer for these things to raise money, because it's even more of a draw on their lives with kids that are in the same position. But sometimes I think we got to do what we got to do. I started up a website, CureLuke.org, for him, just again to have a face with him, so I can relate things when we fundraise, or and we push anything we can towards Cure GABA A. It's again putting a face and something else to it. He's worth everything to me, and it's made me want to go. I do IT for a living, but I now want to do like instructional technology. I want to find ways to help engage in kids, not just like him, but all the special need kids. His school is the most amazing place you can go into, and these kids, they don't want to feel special. They don't want to, they want to be like everybody else. I put Luke down on the ground, he will go up to any kid and he will watch, because he wants to be engaged with them. He wants to be a part of what they're doing. And if he's not the center of attention like this, sometimes you think it would be otherwise, but no, he just wants to be like everybody else. And the kids deserve to be like everybody else. So I'm going to do whatever I can to make that a possibility as well.
That's amazing. What would you define as the value of community, finding people that are going through the same thing that you're going through?
The community aspect of this right now is trying to find somebody else that is going through what you're going through. Sometimes you're in a position where, I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
You're in a position where you don't know what to do. You don't know how to handle things, or just to know the next step. Sometimes the parents are just always overwhelmed, and that 5-minute talk, just talking to somebody else, again, that knows what you're going through, or maybe it's just a what are you doing? Or just to have that camaraderie is also a huge stress relief. This is not an easy thing to deal with. It is, a special needs, child, it's a 24-hour all the time. We don't get breaks. We don't get to go out to dinners all the time. We don't, it's people find out they want to babysit or they want to, that will help, and some do, and they don't have a problem. But then some of them realize, well, he might be too much for me to handle, and I get it.
Yeah. Ben, is there anything else you want to share about Luke's journey? If anyone else out there is going through the same thing right now or is recently diagnosed?
Do every bit of research you possibly can. Reach out to Cure GABA A. Reach out to other organizations. Do not be afraid to give your doctors information they might not even have as well. Our kids, we're their voices, even though he has one right now. It's worth every penny to sit there and do what you possibly do to research and get as much information as you possibly can, and then push, advocate, make it a well-known fundraise, do whatever you possibly do. It's not going to go away. It's just going to keep on becoming more prevalent, but it's worth every single penny of it. And I promise you, you will not find somebody that loves you as much as these kids. They deserve it, and I'm lucky.
That's amazing, Ben. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank you.